Hello everyone, welcome to Form 1. This is going to be your classroom and I thought I might take the opportunity just to give you a little bit of a tour now that I've been in to start sorting things out and getting myself organised for the new year ahead. In Form 1 you'll have your very own tray with your name on it and your own colour all the way around the outside and a picture of an animal or something that starts with the same letter as your name. And it's in this tray that you'll arrive every morning and put your snack in your tray, anything else that you want to keep in your tray, anything special from home, and then you know where it is, I know where it is, and it'll be there when you come to take everything home. Sometimes you'll do pictures or you'll create things and you might want to keep them in a special place to remind you to take them home when the day has come to a close, and this is where it'll be. You'll also have your own name on your own peg, which is down in the cloakroom. The big screen, and we use the big screen for all sorts of different activities. Not just about watching TV, I can assure you. Underneath the big screen table is where we keep lots of different loose parts. Sometimes they're crates or boxes. These are polystyrene stacking bricks, which you can make all sorts of amazing things. We've had castles and forts. Somebody even used it to make a knight's helmet, which was brilliant. Underneath the table there's often big baskets or big boxes full of construction material, and at the moment it's full of it's like a Meccano, lots of nuts and bolts and things that you can assign together and build vehicles. There's a few wheels in there and all sorts. Behind me you will see there is a big chest of wooden blocks. We love our wooden blocks. We build big houses and castles and forts. We use them for roads. We build massive towers, all sorts of different buildings, caves even, dragon hidey holes. And we also have our very large cat stand. Now you might see these in people's houses, but we don't use them for pussycats. Although, as much as I would love to have a pussycat in Form 1, that would be amazing, we use it for all sorts of small world play. So we put dragons out and dinosaurs, and we can have them on different levels, which is always brilliant fun. Can you see that long thing up behind me? That's a car ramp. We love playing with cars in Form 1. All sorts of races, measuring distances that they can travel depending upon how high the slope is or how low. See if that makes a difference. Further around behind me, you'll see a whole load of baskets. This is our loose part basket trays. They are full of all sorts of different things that you can make and incorporate into your play. In here we have some tin cans, always worth playing with those. In here we have lots of different stones. I've just spilt them all over the floor. We also have shells. And these shells were given to us by one of our current Form 1s who works for a fishmonger's and a very smart restaurant in town. And they have somebody who'll be joining us in Form 1. It's Innes's mum and dad. So Innes, I'm still using your shells that you gave me earlier this year. We've also got some cotton wool up here. We've got some beech nuts, and I love collecting things like that. We often have conkers in here and sweet chestnuts. We have a variety of different sea glass and other shells, some smaller shells than the scallop shells that are just there. And these are very exciting. These are lotus flower heads that have all been dried up, and we can use them for all sorts of things. Balancing little things in the top, we use them for painting, or we just use them as part of our building. What else have we got in Form 1? I think I should show you what's behind me. Now behind me, these are our proud clouds. And when you're in Form 1, you will get a cloud each. Let's have a little zoom in on one of the clouds. This cloud is Harvey's cloud. And whenever he does something that he's really, really proud of, like what he's done in this picture here with Imogen, then we take a photo, we put it on his proud cloud, and we attach his words with a little speech bubble. And that just shows us all the amazing different things that we do in Form 1. And your cloud is your cloud. So only your work will go on it, and you're in charge of changing it as well. If you do something that you're really proud of, then we take the picture down and we put a new one up, which is great. Now, I wonder if you can see behind me, I've got another display. That blue one back there is our birthday display. So you know, many of us are born on very, very different days all across the year. So people arriving in Form 1 will most likely be 3 years old or 4. The people who are 3 will be having their birthdays very soon, the very start of Form 1. But we've got some children this year who've yet to have their birthday because they were born in the summer. And you'll notice, if you're really, really observant, and you can count the different kites up on my wall, that there are 12, because there are 12 months of the year. And if I go a little bit closer, you'll see that everybody has their name on a kite. So this is the month of May, and we had Imogen's birthday in May, and we had Magnus's birthday in May. But if I come along here to August, this is the month where we're normally on our summer holidays, I have an awful lot of birthdays. William's birthday, Thea and Isabella have yet to have their birthdays, so they will be turning 5 very, very, very soon. Now let's continue our journey around the classroom, and I think I will take you over here next. Now in here, this is what we call our role play area. And when you arrive in Form 1, it'll be set up like a house. So there will be somewhere to do some cooking, to do some washing up, to mix cakes, or to keep things cool. There's a fridge as well. And this is where we call our role play. So we play different things. We become different characters. And at the moment, it's all set up to be a shop. If I turn this round, you'll see that we have a till set up, and we have a telephone, and we have a little workstation to encourage boys and girls to do all sorts of things with money. Don't know if you can see that on the very top of the till. There is a coin, so you can decide what coins are worth different things. Over here in our big basket here, it's full of costumes. Now sometimes we just have material, so you can make your own costumes. But as you can see from our box at the moment, it's a hat box full of different hats, so you can become different people. Pieces of material that we use, we wrap around ourselves to create dresses and gowns, as well as suits and armour and all sorts. So you can see we've got long strips of material, and we've got ribbons up here, and we've got pegs to hold them in place, so you can do them yourself. We also have some plain shirts. Now, these are the kind of things that boys and girls sometimes wear as part of their school uniform. So you know, our school uniform is red and white check shirts. These are just plain white, so we wouldn't wear them at the Compass School. But other schools might wear them. Daddy maybe wears them when he goes off to work. And in Form 1, we can draw on these shirts to make our own costumes. So you could cover it in all sorts of colourful dots or stripes, or you could colour in patches, or you can draw pictures on them to help support whatever it is that you would like to become. If you look behind me, we've got a big blackboard, and there's a calendar, and there's also another money guide upon there. And there's a little table where people can do extra writing and a few more loose parts. So in here I've got some conkers, and I've got some wooden shapes, some more shells, and some very colourful feathers. Now, join with me looking into our story corner. You'll remember from the very first video that I did about our story corner that it was a cosy place to go to if you wanted to share stories or play games. But we also can all gather in there together, and we do so at the end of the day sometimes. And we wave at mummies and daddies from across the room who are arriving to pick us up. So it's a very, very special place. Now then, let's continue our journey around the classroom. I am here at the junk modelling area, or the gluing area. Inside this table here, you'll notice it is full to the brim of all sorts of colourful paper, bottle tops, buttons, bits of straw, bits of ribbon, shiny things, dull things, scratchy things, rough things, all sorts of special things that you can use a bit of glue along with a little bit of junk from these drawers here, the red drawers. So things like cereal boxes or bottles or yogurt pots, and you can glue them together to create something amazing. Look what we did in Form 1 just before we went into lockdown. They made a very special post office. Isn't that incredible? Has a roof that they had to stick together with tape. The rest was out of a box, and they made a lovely door so that people could get inside into the post office, which was brilliant. Now then, carrying on our journey, you might notice that we have 2 big trays in our classroom. Now this is usually filled with water, so this is our water tray, and we play all sorts of things in water. Sometimes we're just using empty bottles or containers or jugs and funnels and tubes, and we're pouring the water, moving it around. Other times we have sea creatures in here and stones and shells. We colour the water blue. Or occasionally we add fairy liquid and we make it all frothy and bubbly, which is great. We have another one that I'll take you to see over here. And this one is usually full of sand. Do you like playing in the sand tray? I love it. Sometimes we have dry sand and we move the sand around and we pour the sand through different shapes and sieves and jugs as well. We use jugs for a lot of different things. And other times we make it really, really wet, so it's a gloopy, gunky swamp. Other times it's nice and wet so that you can mould it into different shapes, and we build castles or racetracks, caves or rivers. And there's no limit to sand. And we also have lots of different animals and other creatures that come and play in the sand pit, which is great. Can you see what's behind me? You can maybe have a look at the sign, and if I come a bit closer, what is underneath might give you a little bit of a clue as to what it is. It says, "Sorry, we're closed." This is our woodwork area, where you can use real tools to make things out of wood. Now, this may not be set up as soon as you come into Form 1, but it is one of our favourite activities, where we use special safety glasses, hammers, and we use bottle tops and pieces of wood and real nails, and we create some amazing things that then go on display behind me. And at the moment that display is all empty because the boys and girls are not here making things. So I cannot wait to have you join us so that we can begin our adventure in Form 1. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now you might notice behind me there's a big display board that still has a whole load of the Form 1 artwork that we did just before we finished, before we went into lockdown. Can you see what shapes are just over here? I'll come a little bit closer so you can see. They are love hearts. And the title of the display is "Love Makes the World Go Round." And it really, really does. Just before we finished school, we were exploring colour mixing. So you could mix your own paints with powder colour, you can shake them in, you can add a bit of water, and you can find out what new colours you can make with some of the primary colours, the red, yellow and blue. Mix them together in different quantities and see what colour you end up with. And look at these amazing pictures that they created, which is absolutely fabulous. And that all happens down here. And you can see there's paint there, and there's trays, and there's Mrs. Brown's box of mystery, which is currently full to the brim of paint sticks, which is wonderful. Coming over here, just before I go, I thought I'd show you my little line of class promises. These are the things that we promised to do in Form 1 to make sure that everybody is happy. So we have things like, we are honest, we tell the truth, we walk in Form 1, we talk quietly, we are kind and we are helpful. This one here is, we share and we look after property. That's Daniela there helping to tidy up. And over there, I've got to go the right way with my hand here. We listen, we don't interrupt. And finally, we do all these things so we are happy in Form 1. So there we go. Welcome to your new classroom. I cannot wait to have you in here. See you again very soon. Bye-bye.